Hello, today we are looking at two photographs taken from the top of Devonport Column, both either in the late 1870s or early 1880s, possibly even the middle of the 1870s, and they show a lot of alterations, although at first look people will say they're just the same, there's no difference. Have a look and see what you think. This is the first of the photographs. This would be the older one, both taken from the top of Devonport Column, but 1D does seem to be from a higher position than the other. I wonder if someone climbed up the flagpole. So this is the older one, and here we have the less old one. We're not talking about much time here, but it shows a world of difference. Can you see it? Let's have a deep look. Let's start by looking at Devil's Point. Here we've got the artillery tower built by Henry V, so very old. It seems to be right in the line of the sun, so the photograph would be taken, I would think, in May, June, something like that, in the late afternoon, early evening, and the sun is coming right across, hitting it hard, reflecting off the lovely limestone. Here, hidden, is Signal Cottage with a flagpole or a signal pole there. Now look at the less old photograph. Only a few years here. What do we see? The most important difference is the building here in front of the artillery tower. This has got a corrugated iron roof because I've seen other photographs of it from different angle. It's a winding house. It is used to pull in and presumably let go the boom defence system that at this time was erected across the Hammers to prevent enemy ships, particularly enemy torpedo boat type vessels with a high speed, from coming between Drake's Island and Picklecombe and shooting right up the Hammers to attack the dockyard. Signal Cottage is no longer so hidden, and there appears to be a new construction of a wall here that could be the external wall of the quickfire battery that was modernised. If we go back to the old photograph, it isn't there at all. The more recent photograph shows this lovely detached house here. It's still there today. It's above the retaining wall of the Royal William Yard that's still there today. I think the house is called Reservoir House, and it is now a private residence. And these houses may be there today. I'm not sure because we can't see all of them. There's a row of houses there today. I'm not sure if that's the right position or not. And here we've got the fortifications, 1, 2, 3 gun positions. I can see, you can see like the notch where the guns would be. Going back to the older photograph, it's a completely different building there, and none of the other buildings are there at all. This is the retaining wall of the Royal William Yard, and also this is the coastal defence battery that was visible in the earlier photograph, but I got a feeling this is taken from a slightly higher position, so maybe the photographer did climb up the flagpole. Just to recap, lots of buildings there, and going to the older photograph, nothing at all. We must not forget at this time the development of coastal artillery was absolutely immense. Advances could be done almost overnight. So any photograph taken 1 year could almost be obsolete the year or two afterwards. We have to look at Drake's Island. By the way, this is Bovisand's in the distance here, but it's not very obvious in the more recent photograph to look for any alterations. It's a shame. Drake's Island, pay particular interest to the coastal defence battery at the top. You can see the guns, they're all along there, like, you see, protected by our earthworks. Look also here, nothing there apart from what some people may describe as the oubliette, and that's a lot of debate on whether that is one or not, but that area isn't developed yet. Now we have the more modern, and I say that it's just an expression, maybe only 5 or 6 years or so afterwards, when the whole top of the island is different. These earthworks have been altered and are much more complex from a technical point of view. Looking here, we see an incline that was used to bring up guns from the seashore to the casemented battery that is here. If we look on the old photograph, the casemented battery just isn't there. What a difference. Just look again. This is the older image and this is the newer image. The statue here is of Lord Seaton that gave his name to Seaton Barracks that was once at Crown Hill. It was removed, I think, in about 1999, 2000, something like that. This is the more a modern image, and we can go to the older image when the statue is quite hidden. You see, it's hidden here in the older image, and he's brought out in his proper location here in the more up-to-date image. Looking at the two images, it's almost possible that the statue was not on his plinth, so it wasn't actually in the correct place. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that isn't the statue there, but a tall man. I don't know. Let's look at what we have here. This is the more up-to-date image, and this earthwork is still there today. It's called a redoubt, and today it has the flagpole type sculpture in the middle of it. Now, of interest for me here is this here. If you look at this, there's two, as I see it, there's a helical spiral going up the top with possibly an electrical lead here. And if we go to the older photograph, that doesn't seem to be the issue. So I'm wondering if between this image here and this image here, we saw the rise of wireless telegraphy. And that spiral is a sort of aerial. Maybe I'm wrong, please let me know. We're now panning along the dock lines. This is the older image. The dock lines, they are a defensive work that ran from here through Stonehouse Creek brickfields, Devonport Park and what have you, to defend the dockyard against attack. If we look carefully, 1, 2, 3, pile of cannonballs. Oh, how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and another pile of cannonballs. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6, 7. These would be quite simple guns, smoothbore firing cannonballs. Let's now advance a few years and we can see that the dock lines have become very sophisticated. Have a careful look and what do you see? Let's just go back here, look. These are complicated military earthworks. These would be used to provide defence to the armament, possibly provide magazine storage. Either way, they are state of the art. And again, we can see here one gun there, another one there, another one there, I think, and onwards. So a huge development here that must have cost a fortune. For those interested, this lovely limestone bluff is still there today. In Mount Wise, it's on the south side of the children's playground. One thing that hasn't altered though are these beautiful tent type structures. You see? When you first see them, you may be a little bit stumped as to what they are, but they're cranes. If you look carefully, you can see here, sticking out here at 2 o'clock, the jib. Beautiful things. I would love to see a picture of one better than this. When you look at a photograph like this, there's so much to see. You will always miss something. And I've just spotted something here. I did say earlier about houses being built at Western King, but we see here, and I'm not talking about the constructions here, there's absolutely nothing here at all. So this coastal battery would be sitting in a lovely open area, very much like Western King always had been. But come on a few years, and that open expanse is developed with these houses here. They're still there today. I think they may be called Coast Guard cottages. I'm not certain, but they're still there today. So the whole of Western King has been developed in a very small number of years. Let's just go back to the old one again. Here we can see absolutely almost nothing. And how developed it is there. We'll have a last look at the photographs. This is the older one. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. So much to see. Of course, the houses in the foreground fell victim to the Luftwaffe and the planners. And here, the more up-to-date photograph. It's a delight to see. There's so much history in here. I've been looking at those photographs for years, and I thought I'd spotted everything. But just now, I spotted even something extra. Let's have a look. Here we can see Bugger Sands, the harbour, the fortification and the earlier fortification above it. Go up the hill, nothing there. Clean. This is the older image. This is the more up-to-date image. Unfortunately, we can hardly make out Bubasan Fort and Studden Fort. But look at the top here. This earthwork has appeared. It just wasn't there in the earlier images. Under here we've got a labyrinth of tunnels, magazines, observation positions, range finding positions. A fabulous, fabulous piece of military history where I have spent many happy hours with my partner before it was all locked up, of course, due to health and safety. So let's have a look again. Look at the earthwork here above Bubasan's in the more up-to-date image, and on the older image it just isn't there. Not there. There. How many thousands of tons must have been moved for that? Anyway, thank you very much for your time. I hope you've had as much fun listening to me as trouble and hassle I've had trying to get this working. See you soon. Bye-bye.